Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2. I exited out again, so we may be a little bit further ahead than we should be. We will soon interrogate that demon. We beat the first demon, I guess, and saw this cutscene, and I guess we'll just start from this point. Immediately, we know that Zobek wanted that demon alive, which to me makes me wonder if he is going to use the demon to make himself stronger, and if he's not the bad guy in the long run. Maybe, maybe not. I am not so sure how much of this area is just gonna be an actual dungeon, or if this is just going to be a central hub, or if this is just going to start with a cutscene. The first area in modern time did not look particularly great. This clearly feels like something should be there. Maybe the DLC that I haven't purchased, and very well may not, would open up at that point. That kind of makes sense. Or a doorway opening up over here or over there would make sense. I have some questions about where the Brotherhood is in this modern time, if they still exist in some form or fashion. Yet they kind of have to. You kind of want them to. The door closes on him and locks him out, so he's not part of the interrogation.
Stop playing around. Open it.
You've lost your chaos power. Now the Gorgons have it.
Uriale, Steno and Medusa.
You're going to need to get it back.
There's a lot of waviness happening here. See, the question would be, why would Trevor, as a boy, want his father in prime Dracula shape instead of, you know, human shape, unless he is just really trying to help, which I've grown far too untrusting in video game storytelling to believe that. So at some point I'm going to have some kind of dagger, blood dagger or something that can break metal. And this is the castle from before. We're just in a different position, which kind of tells me that all of the past events are going to take place in the castle, which is fine when you think about Castlevania being a game that, for the most part, is 100% events that occur inside one castle, maybe arguably two, in the sense that some of the Castlevania games have a upside down version of the exact same castle. Why does Dracula need so many giant elevators? This feels like a place that you should be able to fight something. And that looks like modern time, not ancient time, although that might just be an example of the artistic style not being drastically different enough. I would want like all the walls in the present time. Yeah, this feels like they just ripped off something from The Grudge, not a Medusa.
Beware of the jailers. They no longer serve their master.
Wait.
Medusa has your chaos powers.
So that was creepy and weirdly animated. So yeah, I think I would want something along the lines of, I wish I could kind of zoom in and see some of these statues. Somebody spent some time and effort on this, and I feel like I'm probably gonna just run right past it, like that collectible. Yeah, you have to hit back to see it and then hit back to get away from seeing it. Seems like there's a doorway over there, and again, being a 3D game, you're zooming the camera out way further than you would in a 2D Castlevania game. What is breakable? Statues are breakable, okay. I didn't actually check to see if these statues that were in that first boss fight were breaking all of those would give you an achievement or not. I kind of just assumed if it did, it did. If it didn't, it didn't. We could probably do well with a reduction in the number of breakable items. Seems like that door locks up when we walk away from it so that it can unload that section. So just humans, skulls and demon skulls like crazy, and this is more blood. So I guess if I'd read the backstory, I probably would have gotten an explanation about that the Gorgons are your prisoner, or were your prisoners. Although I guess slight question as far as how many people were prisoners in Dracula's castle and how many people were willing servants, or subjugated servants at the very least. What would be an interesting question to ask here is, how long do those energy orbs stay in the air? I feel like the answer is probably as long as your bonus is going, and no longer than that. Well, I guess it is longer than that. So not directly connected to your bonus. But yeah, as long as you hit this guy, I guess he's kind of invulnerable. Let's watch the finish animation on this. That is a really long animation. I should be using the Y button when I'm doing this, because that'll do a lot more damage instead of the X button. There are some new abilities. He is not the forgiving type, apparently. There's some new abilities I would like to see this game unlock. It would be, frankly, kind of dull if we don't see at least a few new things in every Castlevania game. Of course, every Castlevania game at this point is just a fantasy because they've all happened. There's highly unlikely that there would be any new Castlevania game from Konami ever again, or any new video game of any quality from Konami again at all. And so the series got a good long run, I could say that, and there's a lot personally for me to go back to because I haven't played any of the original series or the previous series. Man, that's way too many back buttons to have to press. So I can offer my blood, and I can offer my blood, or I can go through some doors. So when you offer your blood like this, is this a door is unlocked from this side? Okay. So we'll pretend like we read that and then hit the back button. Even if I am actually hitting the black button that time, and it still didn't work any faster. Interesting. So I would have to figure out a way to get that to drop, or to be able to walk on fire. Going back this way seems kind of unimportant. So there's only, it seems, like 3 animations. Every single animation is in this game is just too edgy and slow, and it balances very poorly to the amount of level design in this game and the amount of enemies we're fighting in this game. This is an area where a modern Dark Souls inspired game would have at least 2 or 3 enemies on this mountain specifically designed to potentially knock you down and make you suffer for not playing the game 100% perfectly. I am questioning this. Like, I don't think I'm jumping down that way, and I seriously doubt I can just make a long jump that way. I've seen this game be super generous on some of our jumps, but I guess we can only try and see what happens. Yeah. That's what I thought would happen. And yeah, you can't jump down on that machine. So I think the idea on this is that the machines and the mechanisms will get moved around. There's little bits of green in the lava that's being animated the way I'm seeing it. It's slightly distracting. That's an impossible to fail jump. And this is the wolf medallion, which I think would take us back into modern time. So is there possibly no way around but through going? Let's see, do we have another one of these keys? We don't have the key. Now, Metroid was definitely not a big user of keys. There are a few, undoubtedly, but the vast majority of all doors are locked behind abilities. I don't think Castlevania was much of a big user of keys either. Keys feel like kind of a last resort idea if you don't have any other way to progress gate, or gate progress, gate by the progress the player has made. I think this is actually just another dark hallway. It is. And so this is called the City of the Damned. So what I'm guessing will happen here is we'll summon the White Wolf, which I don't know if Alucard was called the White Wolf, Travis Belmont was called the White Wolf, or if this is some indication or hint towards something else. A lot of this feels like when you're transitioning that you're really just admitting that the game is admitting they had sections and they didn't want to make the hallways to connect to sections or have a storyline to connect to sections. And you kind of start by painting yourself in a bit of a corner when you have a game that's set in two different timelines. That almost never works well. I don't think I got my chaos form. So we could just stay here, I think. But they don't make the hallway walk that long, probably because we're gonna end up doing this so often that it's gonna make less sense. And where are we now? It says the science districts. So yeah, there's these red tubes and stone walls. I would have gotten rid of the stone walls, and I would have had all of the walls either have graffiti on it or a techno glow to it of like a circuit pattern. I would change the floors out to look like something different and less darkness, less metallic. Even this metal, it does not stand out as this is a modern day, modern time stuff. I feel like I really just moved myself back into to where we were before, and we don't have any new ability. So where's our map site? I must find the Gorgons to guard the... Let's see, Marcus objective. Marcus objective. Yeah, I don't get this at all. I go back this way. I don't care about that. Map. Items. There are now a new item, Seal of Alistar. Let's see, it says a blood oath kept the ghost of Alistar from leaving the mortal world. His spirit was anchored to the weapons that make him famous in life, forcing him to brandish them for eternity. It said that he carries a seal with his name which enables the master to guide his fist and reach perfection in the art of dealing death. So some kind of item that unlocks more damage. So what am I doing? Like, this map just goes back to the area we have been multiple times. And going this way would just take us back. I don't know if I was actually supposed to do this or not. Like, the only thing glowing right now is the white wolf symbol, so maybe I was not supposed to use. Maybe it was just a transition point for my benefit. This game is weirdly designed. Definitely feels very weirdly designed. Like, it does seem just to be oddly, weirdly designed to not make a lot of sense. And then we're getting kind of just a transition effect that is taking quite a while to wear off. Alright. So there is something, and if I walk this way, I think I'm getting further away from it. It's something over that direction. So this isn't a jump, is it? Some weird jump where I'm supposed to go to that? Let's just see. There. No, that's not what I'm supposed to do. Jumping over that way does nothing for us. Trying to look around and see if perhaps there's something that would make more sense here. Once you pull the trigger, you're stuck, by the way. You have to release it, so there's no way to save your magic as far as I can tell. So I need a dungeon key. I don't have a key. If I did have a key, I could go over there and get that. Why would there be a key, particularly in the present area? Well, that would make sense. Yeah, that doesn't really make sense. And we can't take this key out because it's stuck in there. It seems like this is just a transition room specifically designed to unload things. You can tell this engine does not have the capability to handle very large levels. Which, let's face it, is true for pretty much all old games. So it's not as much of a criticism as just a statement of the state the video game engines were in back in the day. And this isn't even that old of a game. Would there possibly be a reason to go all the way back? Can I look at the map here? Must find the Gorgons. Which means I need a dungeon key, which means I'm in the wrong place, which means there must be something that unlocks. It must just be that there is a dungeon key at some point in the future area, and I am supposed to just run around that area. That's kind of all I can figure. This game allows for way too much wandering. I'd like a breadcrumb trail or something to explain this better. Like if I could hold down the left stick or hold down the right stick, or if the menu could show me where I'm supposed to go. Jump. Yeah, he's nowhere close. I could try bats. But the bats would need to hit something, wouldn't it? Like, I can't just throw bats in a random direction. Oh, all of a sudden that works. So the trick here, I imagine, is to tap A quite a bit to get up higher. So I don't know if I'm actually accomplishing enough height. No. Alright. Remember, you can open the relics menu by pressing the D-pad. Alright. Alright, there's another thing we're looking for to cross. So you have to make a jump pretty quickly so that these things decide not to speed up on you and link yourself. Holding the D-pad. Tears of the Saint to recover your max health. I mean, I might as well. So there was a point to some of this. Let's see. But you have to be in very specific spots, I guess, to see it. There's a flash and more creepiness. This feels very Japanese, demon-like. Which, I mean, Konami is a Japanese game, so that would make sense.
My prince.
I saw your assistant on the other.
I know what you seek, but Medusa has it. Free the dwarf. He can help you.
Why do I always work with... Why are the people that work with me demonic monsters? I think that's probably just how Dracula rolled. It is kind of questionable why he couldn't just get some standard humans on his side. Enthralled or enslaved. Usually that is something a vampire can do. Well, once again, we have hit a point. I can't even find the skills where they are. I think they're probably hidden somewhere inside of some of these attacks or something. Skills are way over here, yeah. So this stuff. And there's a whole level of skills over here also that I guess could be acquired and unlocked. Are these the same attacks as these attacks? No, they're different. So there's going to be at least 3 pages of skills. Yeah, it took 30 minutes to figure out how to get from point A to point B because of the White Wolf side tracking and just weirdness in the level layout. Although we did also have that one fight, which was a fine fight. Although arguably I would say that area, since it was already designed for fights, should have something spawn in it every time I walk in there. Something weak, at least. Even if it was just rats or something that I could grind on. This game seems obviously not like it's going to give you any experience for defeating enemies. All of the experience we're getting is just by breaking random objects, which that's totally upside down. The game would have been way better if it didn't have breakable objects but had more enemies to kill. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me even further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.